Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the A24 archive. This is the segment on my channel where I go back through A24's entire filmography from the first film that they released all the way until the most current film. And this is my 39th film in A24's catalog, which is awesome. At 30, I ranked all of them. When I get to 60, I'm going to rank the 60 that I've watched. And I've really enjoyed watching through their filmography because there's a lot of films that I had never heard of before or were never exposed to, and it's always fun for me to kind of dive in and watch these things with an open perspective, not really knowing much about them when they were first released. And so the movie I'm going to be discussing today, I knew nothing about. I saw the poster for it. Saw Craig Robinson was in it, who I actually really enjoy. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is Morris from America. Morris from America is directed by Chad Hartigan, a heartwarming and crowd-pleasing coming-of-age comedy with a unique spin. Morris from America centers on Morris Gentry, a 13-year-old who has just relocated with his single father Curtis to Heidelberg, Germany. Morris, who fancies himself the next notorious B.I.G., is a complete fish out of water, a budding hip-hop star in an EDM world. To complicate matters further, Morris quickly falls hard for his cool, rebellious 15-year-old classmate Katrine. Morris sets out against all odds to take on the hip-hop world by storm and win the girl of his dreams. So I was really excited to watch this after I figured out a little bit about it because I'm a huge coming-of-age movie fan. I love coming-of-age films. I feel like there's like this nostalgia about being younger. There's lessons that often adults can learn about themselves through watching these movies, especially when there's really good adult characters written in the movies. And this is a film that has really strong performances, but not much else. Unfortunately, the script is relatively lackluster, and while I really like our two lead characters, there's really not much else going for it. The film really struggles, even at an hour and a half, to keep up its pacing in a way that is really engaging and entertaining, and I'll get into it a little bit more in the review. So Morris, played by Markees Christmas, is this young kid who moves with his father, played by Craig Robinson, to Germany after his mother passed away. They move out there to Germany. His dad's doing this job. He's currently working with this young instructor who's teaching him German. He's going to school. He doesn't really feel like he fits in where he's at. He's trying to navigate life being a teenager, learning a new language, discovering things about a new country. And the entirety of the film is he's introduced to this young girl named Katrine, and he starts to fall for her. Well, he wants to be a hip-hop artist, but he realizes the music world surrounding him doesn't really accommodate that style where he's living. That's not what kids are into, but he wants to pursue it anyway. And it's really just this navigation of this young kid trying to find himself after going through a really horrible thing like losing his mother. And that is a really interesting premise on the surface. I really like the idea of it, but the problem is it never navigates any of those things in a way that's really gut-punching. Like, for instance, losing a parent is something that's really difficult for someone to go through. And there's this really beautiful monologue at one point that Craig Robinson delivers towards the end of the film that was really one of the best scenes in the entire movie. Kind of talking about the loss a little bit, but more just like his difficulty being a parent and trying to figure things out. And I feel like the loss of a parent is something that you could really dive head over into to really create a deep emotional dynamic for the character. And Morris's character is a really funny, likable young kid who, you know, is disobedient to his dad, but he's still, you can tell he loves his dad despite, you know, being a kid, just rebellious like a 13-year-old. And he meets this young girl and he wants to be around her. He wants to know more about her, but he's getting bullied by people at school. There's a couple moments where race plays a really big part into it, where a teacher accuses him of possessing marijuana, and it's clear that he is one of the few people of color that goes to this school. His German teacher finds a book of lyrics that he wrote for rap songs and immediately takes it to his dad, and it's like, this is too vulgar, this is too disgusting. And it's like you see those elements of like racism play through, even if like through the teacher's lens, she really loves Morris, but she doesn't understand how her kind of like, I don't know the correct word for it, but her subconscious racism, where it's like she's doing this and she doesn't realize how it comes across and how it looks. And there's a couple of subtle moments like that that really work. that I like a lot, but there's also a lot of really bland filler moments that don't really provide anything for the characters. It's just kind of like slice of life, but in a way that's not really all that interesting and engaging. And there's some really funny moments. There's some times where the comedy doesn't land for me whatsoever, and that's really disappointing. The cinematography in this thing is relatively flat. It's not really anything all that interesting also, and the movie's kind of color graded a little blandly, so it's not really all that visually astonishing. And I think of like some of the greatest coming of age films that are ever made. Part of those films being so great, movies that I really love, are like the cinematography, the color grading in it, all the technical elements surrounding really great performances that keep you engaged. And this movie just had the one end of really great performances from our two lead actors, but not much else. So that really kind of makes this a forgettable experience for me, which is unfortunate because I really liked the two leads a lot in this, especially Craig Robinson, who is known for being a comedic actor, delivers a really great dramatic performance in this. And I'd really like to see him do more dramatic performances because he is really a talented actor. And I think, a lot of times in Hollywood, people get typecasted into being only one thing, where it's like, oh, you're a comedic actor, so just do comedy for forever. And it's really nice to see actors kind of pull back from that, do something out of their comfort zone, and do something really impactful. So shout out to Craig Robinson for giving a really phenomenal performance in this. But aside from those, really, this movie didn't do much for me. I might revisit it in the future, but I didn't really feel super compelled to revisit it anytime soon. So if you've seen Morris from America, did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was mediocre. I really expected a lot more, and I didn't really get a whole lot out of it. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.